Angeles Zoo. My name is Caitlin Lee, and I'm an ambassador, Girl Scout, and a student volunteer here at the zoo. I've loved animals ever since I was little, and I think the zoo is a place that every kid deserves to visit at least once. So I've created this virtual tour for you and the School on Wheels as my Girl Scout Gold Award project. You're going to experience a walkthrough throughout the zoo and see many new animals and learn about them and the environment. I sincerely hope you enjoy your time here at the zoo. The Los Angeles Zoo opened in 1966. It spans over 110 acres in the Los Angeles Griffith Park area, and it houses over 1,000 animals. Obviously, since we have so many animals here at the zoo, you're going to have tons of questions. So let's find someone who can answer all of your questions. Oh, look, there's Angie. Maybe she can help us answer all of your questions today.
Hi, Caitlin.
I'm taking the School on Wheels kids on a virtual tour today. Do you think you can help us?
I'd love to help you. Hi, School on Wheels.
Angie is our student and volunteer chairperson and a knowledgeable docent here at the zoo. With her help, this is sure to be a great tour. Angie, can you please tell us what exactly a zoo docent is?
A zoo docent is an adult that actually is trained to give tours. And that's what I'm going to do for you today, is educate you about some of the animals here at the zoo.
Wow, that sounds super fun. Are you guys ready? Let's get started.
Let's go.
First, we're going to meet Reggie, who greets everyone coming in through the main entrance of the zoo. Reggie is the only American alligator at the Los Angeles Zoo. I heard Reggie has an interesting story about how he came to the zoo. Can you tell me more about that, Angie?
Sure. Reggie's actually found in a lake that was near Torrance, California. And someone had dropped him off because they didn't recognize that an American alligator would make a good pet. And so they just dropped him off into a lake and thought, oh, I'll just drop him off here. Well, it wasn't working out for the residents that would come and want to go fishing and playing in the water. And so they tried to catch him many, many times. Well, Ian Recchio, who is the head curator here of reptiles at the Los Angeles Zoo, heard about him while he was at a conference. He said, I can go get him. And he went and he captured Reggie and brought him here so that everyone can enjoy him at the Los Angeles Zoo.
So how is the lake that Reggie was dropped off in different from where wild alligators live?
Wild alligators actually live in swampy areas in brackish water. Brackish water is water that has a little bit of salt water, but is also fresh water. And alligators love that type of water because they can blend into their environment.
So is that why when you look at an alligator, you can see all of their facial features, like their eyes and their nose and their ears, on the very top of their head?
Absolutely, because that's how they hunt for their animals. Because they're ectothermic, their body temperature will fall to be the temperature, or raise to be the temperature of their environment. So if it's very hot outside, they'll go into the water, or if it's very cold outside, they'll go and sit in the sun to warm up their body. Well, they don't move a lot because they're not able to have an internal temperature control. And so what they want to do is look like a log and have the animals come into the water and look for them.
Wow, that's super cool. Now, as we move further up, we will see one of the most popular attractions at the zoo, the meerkats. Oh, what is that one doing, Angie?
Well, that meerkat is actually looking for a predator in the sky. And if you look up, you don't see anything. What are they looking for? It's actually looking for a hawk. And it's playing a sentry, looking up there, making sure that no hawk is going to come down to eat them. So the next question naturally would be, well, has any hawk ever gotten a meerkat? No, the meerkats are really good sentries, and they have never been eaten here at the zoo. What they'll do is they'll run underground really quickly and hide from a predator. But actually, they are not only a prey animal, they're also a predator themselves. How do we know this? Well, you can see that their eyes are in the front, not on the side, like a prey animal. So even though they can sometimes get eaten, they also will hunt themselves.
So since meerkats are a predator, what exactly do they eat?
Well, they actually will hunt scorpions and other insects, and that is their main diet. Occasionally, they'll even eat small invertebrates like mice. But they are not just a carnivore, they're actually omnivores, and they will eat a variety of fruits and vegetables in the wild as well. So they have a very well balanced diet.
Wow, I had no idea that meerkats were predators, just like lions and tigers.
So this is one of the most popular animals here at the zoo, the flamingos. And one of the questions I always get are, why are flamingos so pink? Flamingos actually get their color from the food that they eat. They eat microscopic shrimp that give them their pink color. And we actually feed them food dye here at the zoo, pink food dye, to give them their pink color here, because the shrimp don't survive very long in the water we have for them. Well, the question would be, well, if you fed the flamingos blue dye, would they turn blue? No. Their DNA is specifically designed to turn pink. So if you fed them something with blue dye, they would not turn blue. Also, looking at the flamingos, you note that they live in these big groups. Why do they live in such big groups? Flamingos are communal nesters, which means that they will not have babies unless there are more than 20 together, and these large groups for safety in numbers. You've heard that before? Well, these large groups will actually allow them to have their chicks and be safe. And finally, when you look at the flamingo walking, you can notice that its knees are backwards, right? Well, actually, those are not the knees. Those are their ankles. Because flamingos live in the marshes along where the alligators live in that brackish water, they have really long legs. And so what you're looking at is their ankles and not their knees.
I'm not sure when I should walk in. Here we are at the lair, which stands for living amphibians, invertebrates, and reptiles. Here we're going to see all of the many unique animals that we house here.
Wow, the Chinese giant salamander is huge.
Well, actually, it is the largest salamander in the entire world, and it is found only in China. Now, we actually have 2 males here at the zoo. We are working with China to try to get a female so we can actually breed these salamanders here at the zoo. One of the interesting aspects of the salamander is that it doesn't metamorphosize. So most amphibians change shape, but the giant salamander does not. It actually stays in its primitive form throughout its entire life.
I've never seen the salamander come up, so...
They don't actually need to breathe air. They actually breathe through their gills and not through lungs. And like I said, they're immature. They do not become fully grown. They stay in their immature state. And so they breathe through gills and not through lungs.
How interesting. Look, the green mamba is shedding. The green mamba is shedding in order to grow longer.
It actually can reach up to 6.5 feet. And it's interesting, they're found in West Africa, and they're one of the most venomous snakes in the world. And you heard how I said venomous, not poisonous? The difference is that when a snake attacks with its venom, it actually will bite. And when something is poisonous, it is ingested. You actually swallow it. So that's the difference between the two. So the green mamba is one of the most venomous snakes in the world.
That's our
All right.
in there.
Yep.
Gila monster. It is one of two venomous lizards in the world. There are only two, and they're found right here in the southwestern United States. This beautiful lizard may look beautiful, but it has to actually work its venom in because it's a primitive type of venom, and it's found in the bottom teeth, not the top teeth, and it really works that venom back and forth into its prey. And so it may take a little while for that venom to be activated. Here are the false gharials. They're one of my favorite animals here at the Los Angeles Zoo. When you look at this animal, you can see all of those teeth. There's actually 70 teeth in that long row. So, Caitlin, what do you think this animal eats?
Well, I would think since they live in the water, they eat fish, right?
They do eat a lot of fish, but they also eat other varieties. They'll even eat birds, jump out and catch them in the air. But their main diet, of course, is fish. And you can actually see that they will actually grow throughout its life and reach a maximum height of 16 feet, and it takes them about 60 years to do it. So they live to be about 60 years old.
Australia area are the koalas and kangaroos who share the same exhibit. Koalas are so cute, but they always seem to be sleeping.
They do. They actually sleep about 20 hours a day. And as you can see, that koala has wedged itself into the tree. And it does that every day because that way it's protected while it's sleeping. Koalas need to sleep a lot because they only eat one thing.
What is it?
They eat only eucalyptus. There are about 600 varieties of eucalyptus, and koalas only eat 69 varieties of eucalyptus, and that is it. They don't eat anything else.
Wow, that's so amazing that they only eat eucalyptus. The koalas and the kangaroos are both part of the marsupial family, correct?
Yes, marsupials actually mean animals that have a pouch, and they have a pouch that stores their babies while they're growing.
And does the kangaroos have babies that are called joeys, right? Does that also refer to what are the koalas babies called?
Koala babies are also called joeys. So joeys is a term for embryonic gang, and as they start pulling out, they're actually called flyers. So the juveniles are called flyers, and the babies are called joeys.
Wow, I had no idea. That's so cool. I'm so glad that we got to learn about them. The cassowary, the largest Australian bird. Similar to ostrich and emu, it cannot fly, but it runs very quickly. Just look at those talons. Those would definitely hurt.
Oh, yes, they would. As a matter of fact, the cassowary has killed more people in Australia than any other animal. And they do that for territory, not for food, because they actually do not eat humans. They eat fruit. One of the fruits that they eat is called the cassowary plum. And the reason it's called the cassowary plum is because not only do cassowaries eat it, but when they poop, they spread the seeds all over the forest and help regenerate this particular plum. So it's really important that we keep cassowaries in the forest.
Wow, that's so amazing. I had no idea the cassowary was so cool. And it's so sad to learn that not many people know that the cassowary exists.
So we should try to protect this animal in the wild.
Let's save the cassowary together. Now we're in the Komodo dragon roundhouse where we're going to meet my friend Malcolm, who's going to tell us all about the Komodo dragons. Hi Malcolm.
Hi. So right here we have this adult male Komodo dragon, and these guys are pretty crazy because on average they're around 300 pounds, but when they get really big they can be over 500 pounds easily. And another really crazy thing is sometimes they'll go for weeks without eating any food and then take down something really big. And when they do that, in that one meal, they can eat up to 80% of their own body weight. So you can imagine something that's 500 pounds eating over 400 pounds of meat in a single meal.
Thank you, Malcolm. It's so nice to hear about the Komodo dragons from another student volunteer. These are the zebras. Angie, where exactly did these zebras come from?
Well, zebras actually come from Africa. It is the only continent that they're found on. And most people look at the zebras and they see that they're black and white. Well, zebras are black and white, but what people always ask, are they white on black and black on white? Well, as you can see, zebras have a black butt, so they are actually black with white stripes. Another interesting adaptation of zebras is that they have a beard, and that beard is very interesting. If you look at the zebras, you'll see that they have eyes on their side, just like all prey animals. And prey animals need to be able to see on the side because predators, they're looking for predators. When they're looking for predators, they can't look down to eat. So the hair on the sides, on the chin, actually helps them to determine how far to eat down their diet of grass.
Oh, I've never seen these animals before, Angie. What are they?
These are pronghorn, and pronghorn are very interesting species. Did you know that pronghorn are found right here in the United States? As a matter of fact, what is the fastest mammal on Earth?
Isn't it the cheetah?
The cheetah is. It actually runs 70 miles an hour, but only for a minute and a half. The pronghorn can reach speeds of 55 miles an hour, and it can sustain that speed for over an hour.
Wow, I had no idea they were so fast.
Bighorn sheep are also found right here in the United States, and you can see that there is a baby with a male. How do I know that that is a male? Because of his big horns. The females do not have as big of horns, and so you can tell the difference between a bighorn male and a female sheep. How do you know the difference between a sheep and a goat? Well, the horns on a sheep go out, and they do not have a beard. When you look at a goat, the goat's horns go back, and they have beards.
We're in the rainforest of the Americas, and this is the otter exhibit, and my friend Ruby, who is also a student volunteer, is going to tell you about them.
So here at the LA Zoo we have 7 otters, 5 are pups and 2 are parents. What I love about otters is they're super playful and very vocal. You can often hear them fighting and barking at each other. Also right now we have 3 very new pups, and the 2 parents are currently teaching them how to swim.
Giant otters are only found in South America, and there's only 5,000 left in the wild. They have been hunted for their beautiful fur. Giant otters are found along the rivers of the Amazon and their tributaries, and all along the rivers of South America. They live in large family groups, and they're very, very gregarious, as Ruby was telling you. They love to have fun, and they learn how to hunt, and especially for crayfish, from their parents. And their parents also teach them how to swim by just throwing them in the water and hoping for the best. I'm sure you don't want to learn how to swim that way.
This is the gorilla exhibit.
Many people believe that the image of King Kong beating his chest are what you see in gorillas. But gorillas do not really do that. Gorillas are really sedate. And as you see that gorillas are very quiet, because their main diet is leaves, their food is readily available for them to eat. And because it's readily available for them to eat, they're going to eat quietly, and they don't have to fight for it. And then they're just going to sit quietly and digest their food. Exhibit. Caitlin, do you know what a male lion's responsibility is in a pride?
Is it to have more kids?
Well, it is to have more kids, but it is also because lions live in a pride system, and the male lion has a big mane. Now he has a mane to attract the females because it looks big and impressive, but it makes them also look really large. And do you know that lions are not the largest cat on earth? It's actually the Siberian tiger. Lions weigh about 550 pounds at the top, where Siberian tigers can reach weights of 750 pounds. But there's also another reason to have the mane. And Caitlin, I'm going to use you as an example. The mane protects the throat and the neck because male lions protect not only their family, but they need to protect their food source and their watering hole. So they fight for almost their entire lives. So they have that big mane to protect the very important aspects of their life, the throat and the neck. Now, Caitlin, what is a female's job in the pride?
To take care of the young?
It is to take care of the young, but she also does the hunting. Not only does she do the hunting, but who eats first?
Well, I guess if the moms are hunting, it would be the babies, right?
You would think that it would be the babies, but the men eat first. So as you grow up, things don't change. Your mom cooks, your dad comes home and eats the food, just like in the lion family. So the male lions eat first. Who do you think eats second?
Well, then it would have to be the babies this time, right?
You would think it would be the babies, but it's actually the moms. Because the dads need the strength because they're protecting the pride. The women need the strength because they're hunting. The teenagers need the strength because they're learning how to hunt, and the babies eat last.
Well, I think that the lioness should teach their man about women's rights.
I think so too. Chimpanzees are actually really closely related to us. They have the closest DNA to us, so their lifestyle is very similar to us. When we were talking about the gorillas, we saw how quiet and sedate they are. Yet the chimpanzees can be very violent. They can be very sweet. They can groom each other and take care of each other and yet suddenly turn on each other, just like we humans do at times, right? Chimpanzees, just like us, eat a large variety of food. They will hunt and kill other monkeys and animals, and they will also eat fruits and vegetables just like we do. So chimpanzees are very, very similar to us.
We are now here at the elephant exhibit. Angie, how many elephants do we have here?
We have 3 elephants here at the Los Angeles Zoo. There are 3 Asian elephants. We have Billy, he is about 30 years old, and we have Tina and Jewel. They are female cows that are in their 40s.
Wow, they're much older than Billy.
Yes, they are. They don't actually stay together in the same exhibit because bulls are solitary in the wild, and so we have them solitary as well here at the zoo.
I've always wondered, Angie, what's the use of their trunk?
The trunk is very important to elephants because elephants can weigh 6 tons. That's 12 to 13,000 pounds. Now their head is very, very large, and they have no neck. Because their head is so large, it can weigh up to 25% of their body weight, which means that if an Asian elephant weighs 4,000 pounds, their head alone can weigh 1,000 pounds. That's a lot of weight. And so the trunk is used to carry things, to lift things for food and water, because they have no other way to eat because they are so large.
Wow, I had no idea elephants were so versatile and intelligent.
Elephants are one of the most intelligent animals on land. The human brain weighs about 3.5 pounds. The elephant brain weighs 11 pounds. Now, 11 pounds is impressive, except when you think that an elephant weighs 13,000 pounds and the brain is only 11. So yes, it's very large, but it is for their size.
Wow, that's so cool. But why are their backs so dirty?
The backs are dirty for a really good reason. It is their sunscreen. Elephants are going to throw dirt on their back because they don't have a lot of hair and they live out in the savannah and they need to throw dirt on their back to be used as sunscreen. And then to cool off, they'll go in the water and clean off all that dirt and start all over again. Asian elephants are one of the most endangered species in the world. There's less than 30,000 Asian elephants, and that is why we highlight them here at the Los Angeles Zoo, because they are so endangered. They're an animal that everybody loves and respects, and we hope today that you learned a bit about these animals and want to protect them as well.
Wow, time sure flies by when you're having fun. It's almost time to say goodbye to everybody. I hope you enjoyed learning about all of the many animals that we have here at the zoo. And let's thank Angie for taking us around the zoo and teaching us about them.
My pleasure, Caitlin. It was a joy talking to you today and educating you a little bit about the animals that we have here at the zoo. And I hope someday you'll come here and see them live and in person and fall in love with them again.